LPT request. What is something you'll avoid based on the knowledge and experience from your profession?
Always argue a claim denied by health insurance. They will arbitrarily reject claims with no also. Insurance companies will always send you an explanation of benefits, EOB, which is not a bill, but has the amount that should appear on the bill. If there is any question in your mind about a bill, always compare the bill from the provider with the EOB.
I'm a clinical social worker.
As a software engineer, internet-connected, smart, home stuff. I don't need some internet random gaining access to my security cameras.
Not all confidential, anonymous surveys are as confidential, anonymous as you think.
If you get a name brand sunscreen, and generic sunscreen, and there seems to be nothing different except the label on the bottle. The generic is probably the exact same thing and from the same factory, and may even be the same batch as the name brand. Avoid the name brand and get the generic. Literally all it took was flipping one switch on the machine I operated to switch from making name brand here to store's own brand here. All it did was switch what label at a convenience store has pre-cooked food items available under heat lamps. That you can just buy cold and microwave for a few seconds. Don't go for the pre-cooked ones, microwave a new one. It's still microwaved either way, but at least now you know you aren't eating something that was heated 3 hours ago.
Depends on their justification for denial, TBH. Some common ones. If you have a smaller insurance company, a lot of the provider contracts are third-party via a company called Multiplan, and the providers will often deny claims, stating they aren't in network. Lots of claims get denied for lack of supporting documentation. Call the provider and confirm they sent the documents requested, and on what date. Providers keep meticulous records of this. If they haven't sent it, tell them to immediately. If they have, call insurance again and tell them the date it was sent. They'll put you on hold and then come back and say they found it. Sometimes claims will be denied because elective or experimental procedures. Not often this is the case, but providers almost always confirm that the service is covered before providing it. Insurance companies will mistakenly add this denial to services that should be covered. Tell them that authorization was received beforehand. The procedure isn't categorized as elective, experimental, and please reprocess in. Pay the claim.
Anything that's marketed as audiophile grade.
This is what I think every time I get an anonymous survey or feedback from corporate. Last time we had one, we were then put into meetings as teams of just a handful of people where results and feedback were broken down into those teams. We then had to discuss in that team with our manager, so it was pretty easy to know who gave bad feedback. On be honest, I have been in my industry for a while now, already speak my mind to my manager, so it wasn't a big deal, but I could imagine if you were on a team with a toxic manager, that meeting, it could have been very bad.
The healthiest food is the one you grow, cut and prepare yourself. Food industry does not care about your than 20 years experience at several food factories as process operator. Because of my experience at work, I buy organic and almost no processed replaced biological for organic. The typo was for some people more interesting than the issue.
I used to work for a very large casket manufacturer. The death care industry, funeral homes, are some of the most predatory businesses I have ever dealt with. They pressure people who are usually an emotional wreck into making quick decisions about products that are ridiculously marked up by telling them, your mom is literally on ice and we need a decision. Funeral home reps hang out near hospitals and end-of-life care facilities like vultures that swoop in the minute someone passes, or they have agreements with these places to push their services. I've seen the sheets of paper these funeral homes give to hospitals to pass on to literally anyone who just passed away's family. They aren't snatching the bodies, they are pushing their services as soon as someone passes. It's usually just a menu of what they offer, but I know for a fact some places do this. The markup on caskets is near 1000% in some cases. They promote a white glove service, and I can tell you that is complete BS. We threw those caskets around as quick as we could, and repairs were made in-house with whatever we could use. We fixed scratches and dents in wood caskets with meted crayons and painted imperfections in metal caskets with nail polish. The rule of thumb was, if you can't see it in dim light through watery eyes, it's fine. because most people stop paying attention to the details of the $3,000 casket once it's been bodied, and the service I die, cremate me and spread my ashes somewhere cool or just throw me away. If you put me in a Batesville casket, I will haunt anyone who tells you a casket is protected from the elements is full of. The gaskets on the hardware are cheap and we never replaced them when we were supposed to. Most of the caskets underground are full of groundwater, and most of the caskets above ground will eventually leak remains. You don't see the underground damage unless you exhume the casket, and the ones above ground are placed in a way that the liquid collects and drips in a place you'll never see. One more reason I want to be cremated is because I don't want to turn into a puddle of people. Goo and rainwater. Sorry to break it to anyone visiting loved ones' gravesites, but whatever is in there is too. I didn't work at the production plant. I delivered finished caskets to funeral homes and had daily interaction with these people, and when they get friendly they get talkative. Every single one was in it for the money and wouldn't hesitate to brag about how much they could sell a casket for. We had one guy who was very proud of his ability to sell casket accessories that never went into the ground. Oh, your dad was a Marine. For an extra $65 we can put a really nice metal and enamel EGA on each corner instead of those basic plastic ones they are currently on there. And guess what? They are magnetic, so you could even get it one for yourself to keep on your fridge, that way you can always have something to remember him.
This is the exact opposite of the post, but I hear it so much. I've worked in a dozen restaurants and I have literally never seen someone spit in or otherwise mess with someone's food. Restaurants do a lot of not great stuff, but that's not one of them. In my don't order steak well done. You're getting expired meat and it tastes bad.
This is true for a lot more than just sunscreen. I work for a pretty large CPG company in the US, and we have store brand stuff that is literally the same stuff as name brand, but it's in a different package. When we negotiate contracts, we can see that this product from this supplier is called X at Walmart, Y at Kroger, and Z at our stores. Milk is one of the worst when it comes to price difference for the same stuff. There aren't that many major milk producers in the US, so the same handful of companies supply most stores. 2% Prairie Farms milk is $6 per gallon at Walmart, and our store brand is, and guess what? It's the same milk from the same cows, and the only difference is the jug.
Chiropractors. As a medical practitioner, I have heard of, although never personally seen, horrific, permanent damage come about from their manipulations.
I'm going to be attempting to do this for the first time on Monday. Went to the podiatrist for a toenail thing. Total bill was $800 and insurance paid $300? $500 to trim and grind for 20 seconds, and telephone me I should get some antifungal med for a while? I asked for the itemized bill. Is getting charged $260 for a surgical tray normal? They also took x-rays for $111 that I did not ask for or need, since it was a tonsil thing. Do I ask my insurance first what they covered and what they denied? It wasn't quite clear.
If you're a creative, actor, musician, painter, etc., avoid self-proclaimed coaches that charge you an arm and a leg telling you they'll get you into the industry coming from the world of voiceover. There are 1001, I'll teach you everything you need to know, type of coaches who charge hundreds of dollars for a single hour or two. They'll promise to train you, do your demo, etc. Truth is, their business isn't voiceover, it's education. You are their job, and you will overspend and burn out for very little you want a coach or class. Look for people who are known by everyone in your industry and who have verifiable results from their own work. And for goodness sake, don't wait for formal coaching to start doing what you want to do. A book or YouTube video is enough to get you started in almost every case. The best thing you can do is work on it every day.
Not setting boundaries for your child. Ren, daycare worker.
Seriously, like YTF does my toaster need the internet? Just make toast, my guy.
The first production run of any product. I build and maintain automation. It's never perfect on the first try. Employees need time to learn how to assemble the product properly, and trades need time to work out the kinks.
Greater than do I ask my insurance first what they covered and what they denied. It wasn't quite asked for an explanation of benefits, or EOB. It is a list of every charge on the claim from the provider, the initial charge, the negotiated discount, asterisk, how much paid by the insurance and how much charged to your deductible, co-insurance. Asterisk in network insurance contracts include an allowable amount for every service. Example. Doctor sends insurance a bill for an X-ray. Amount is $500. The doctor's office sets the amount, N. It can be any amount they choose. However, the insurance companies each have a rate they pay for that X-ray. Let's say the allowable rate is $200. If your cost share includes a 20% co-insurance, then the insurance company should pay $160. You should receive a $40 bill. The difference between the billed amount, $500, and allowable amount, $200, must be written off by the provider. They are not allowed to charge you the remaining $300. That is called balance billing, and they absolutely are not allowed to do that.